I'm Janet Davies.
And I'm Jim Rose, and welcome to one of the most incredible places in Chicago this year. It's called Disney Quest, and it's located on the corner of Ohio and Rush in Chicago, just 1 block west of Michigan Avenue.
JR, right behind us is a 5-story building that is an indoor interactive theme park.
Ooh.
It is full of high-tech virtual reality games and gadgetry. I tell you, it is 90,000 square feet of pure fun, good family fun. And I guarantee there is no place in the United States like this, except in Orlando, where the original Disney Quest is.
Well, do you remember the movie Toy Story? And perhaps one of your favorite rides at the amusement park is the bumper cars. Well, this next ride is kind of a twist of the two. From what I can tell, you fire your asteroid from your Buzz Lightyear Astro Blaster and boom, you're gone. Hey, you know what? I think I have to try this one. Come on with me. All right, here we go, Cole. Whoa! Got him! Good job, buddy!
Let's check back in now with Tracy Butler and Bill Campbell for more highlights of Disney Quest.
Welcome to the virtual jungle cruise here in the Explore Zone area of Disney Quest. It is a virtual adventure land through some ancient and very exotic places. Now, don't worry, there are no lions nor tigers here. Now, you may see an occasional dinosaur or two as you paddle your way through this prehistoric jungle. And just like any great ride along the rapids, well, you may even get a little wet on this one.
Well, whenever you pick a city as big as Chicago, you're dealing with all sorts of high-cost real estate, successful real estate, signage, how much can you do, what can't you do, how do you do it and fit in with the city, how do you not be a sore thumb, but an addition. So the only problem is we're figuring out how to deal in, you know, one of the biggest cities in the world. Our hope is that this is a way to bring a piece of the Disney magic home, and if it goes well in Chicago, I guess it could go well anywhere. We're convinced, you know, they say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. I'm not sure about that. I think if you can make it in Chicago, you can make it anywhere. So that's why we're trying.
In the 1980s, the Walt Disney Company was going through a rough patch that's now known as the Disney Dark Ages. The company was doing okay with its theme parks, but its bread and butter was still animation. And for a stretch of almost 20 years, Disney had consistent flops in their animated features and with their constant new attempts to reach a teenage audience. Coming into 1989, Disney would release an animated feature that would reignite the company. The Little Mermaid would open to box office and critical success. After The Little Mermaid, and with a new CEO at the helm of the company, Michael Eisner, Disney would go through what is now known as the Disney Renaissance, an unprecedented string of box office hits with its animated features and major expansions in the theme parks, leading to a financial explosion unlike any other for the company. The Disney brand was expanding throughout the 90s, and towards the middle of the decade, the hunger for more would lead to a business venture known as Disney Regional Entertainment. The responsibility of Disney Regional Entertainment was to develop and operate unique local entertainment concepts to expand the Disney brand to new markets. Michael Eisner would appoint Art Levitt, who was previously the Disney Parks and Resorts Vice President, to head these new projects. One of these concepts was called Disney Quest. Disney Quest was to be a chain of indoor interactive theme parks. The project was designed in a way for the Disney brand to reach populations that may not have the chance to travel to the rest of the brand's theme park destinations. The first location was built in Orlando, Florida, in the then downtown Disney district of the Walt Disney World Resort. It would open on June 19, 1998, along with the new west wing of downtown Disney. The complex would feature the genie from Aladdin as the mascot and house 5 stories, of which I will break down some of the attractions. The first floor would feature Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for Buccaneer Gold, a virtual reality experience in which you'd man a pirate ship and destroy other ships, sea monsters, and fortresses to collect gold. Another first floor attraction was Virtual Jungle Cruise, in which you would paddle an inflatable raft with real paddles as you make your way down a prehistoric river, avoiding dinosaurs and occasionally getting sprayed with water while you seek out Wayne Szalinski's time machine to find a way back to the present. The second floor featured Cyberspace Mountain, where guests could design roller coasters in a design kiosk, then sit in a simulator and ride their designs. Guests may also ride pre-built coasters, and it's hosted by Bill Nye the Science Guy, who instead refers to himself here as Bill Nye the Coaster Guy. This was the most popular attraction in the complex. The floor would also feature Aladdin's Magic Carpet Ride, where players wear a head-mounted display as they ride a magic carpet through Agrabah, collecting gems to find the genie, who had been hidden away in the Cave of Wonders. The floor also housed Animation Academy that featured regular sessions throughout the day to teach people how to draw characters with light pens on computer screens. Guests could then purchase the printout afterward. It would also feature Sid's Create-A-Toy, which was a program featuring the evil Sid character from Toy Story that allows one to custom design a toy out of parts of other toys, and then actually buy it later. And the floor also featured Living Easels and Radio Disney Songmaker, where you can create your own song and then buy it later. The third floor housed Mighty Ducks Pinball Slam. Based on the Disney Afternoon cartoon, players become a pinball in a gigantic projected pinball game. By rocking their duck back and forth, up to 12 players at a time control their corresponding pinball on the screen, attempting to collect the most points. Another third floor attraction was Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blaster, where players board bumper cars and attempt to navigate over foam balls or asteroids on the floor. By doing so, the asteroids would be sucked up in the cabin where players can then load them into a cannon and shoot them at other bumper cars. Astro Blaster was my personal favorite attraction. The fourth floor had Ride the Comics. Players would wear VR-mounted head displays to enter the comic book world. Players would then battle supervillains by using laser swords, and up to 6 players can be on a team at a time. The fifth floor would also house the same attraction. The other fifth floor attraction was Invasion, an extraterrestrial alien encounter, where 4 players ride inside a rescue vehicle to save astronauts. 1 player drives, and the other 3 shoot enemy aliens. This attraction was based on the now extinct Magic Kingdom attraction, Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter. Floor 5 also featured Food Quest, where they housed the complex's food court. In there they sold pizzas, burgers, chicken nuggets, and hot dogs, and at one point McDonald's items and cheesecake provided by the Cheesecake Factory, as a concept express location of the chain. Disney Quest would also feature a huge arcade where there was classic games from yesteryear like Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man, Asteroids, the Tron games, Burger Time, and every single Donkey Kong game. Because of the success of Disney Quest Orlando, Disney saw fit to expand as per their original plans. By 1999, Disney Quest Chicago had opened, but Disney didn't foresee the reason for the success in Orlando. Disney Quest's first location was located in the Walt Disney World Resort, where there was other major theme parks, and it was located in the downtown Disney area. You see a theme here? Most visitors to the Orlando location were tourists that weren't visiting for Disney Quest specifically. It was more of a supplemental visit because they were already on Disney property, be it at a hotel, resort, or visiting one of the big theme parks. So you can imagine when Disney Quest in Chicago opened, it was a complete disaster. Disney really tried. They spent millions in marketing and were hyping up the opening launch with national media outlets and executives present, as well as a TV special documenting the opening, but the location never really performed as well as Disney had hoped. There were many reasons for this, but the most prevalent reasons were Disney just being overambitious. The prices were too high, the space was not as big as the Orlando location, and so popular attractions had long lines. The park was in the middle of a busy city and just seemed out of place, but the main reason that it failed was due to it just being not profitable for the Disney company, and Disney just not thinking it through. Video games began to shift from PlayPlace arcade models to home consoles. Disney had a goal of 3 million visitors users a year. But as pointed out in a Defunct Land video on this very topic, in order for Disney to reach the 3 million, Disney Quest would have to be open 17 hours a day at capacity with an average of 2 to 3 hours per visit, 365 days in a year, which anything remotely close would have been impossible. Simply put, Disney did not think the project through. And there was already plans for another Disney Quest in Philadelphia. Plans started as early as 1998. It would eventually be scrapped after land had already been prepped and materials had already been purchased. And Disney would close the Chicago location on September 4th, 2001. All future Disney Quest location plans were cancelled, and only the Orlando one would remain. And the attendance, though it was okay, would steadily decline throughout the years. Disney Quest quickly became outdated and ill-maintained. This was partly because of the lightning-fast innovations in technology at the time, and Disney probably felt that because it was a lone location that they didn't need to update it as often. It also didn't make sense to invest millions in games and experiences for a single location. Their money was better invested elsewhere, and Disney Quest remained stuck in time for nearly 2 decades until it eventually closed in Orlando. This was done to make way for a new NBA-sponsored sports pavilion called the NBA Experience. Disney Quest closure was also the final nail in the coffin for Downtown Disney on the East Coast. Downtown Disney itself was very popular in Orlando, and it was very unique, especially when they opened the now infamous Pleasure Island.
The night of April 7th exploded with a new look for Pleasure Island, the nighttime hotspot of the Disney Kingdom.
Now every night is New Year's Eve at Pleasure Island.
That's right. Whether it's December 31st or July 1st, guests can count down to midnight every night with a New Year's street party celebration.
3, 2, 1. It's great. Fantastic. This is terrific. New Year's in April. I think it's marvelous.
This celebration kicked off with music from hot groups like Tone Loc, Expose, and Paul Revere and the Raiders. So now New Year's could be anytime.
I celebrate it every night of the year, so this is not uncommon for me.
Disney knows how to throw a party.
You can expect the unexpected. Anything can happen on a Pleasure Island night.
For music, dining, and dancing, Pleasure Island's the place to be.
Welcome back, everyone. You know, Janet, whenever there's a Disney Quest grand opening of Disney Quest,
JR, right behind us is a 5-story building that is an indoor interactive
Disney Quest, one of the many wild and way out ways to have fun in Disney Quest.